Okay, let's get started. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining our webinar today. My name is Tina Chandra, and I'm the marketing manager for 79 Consulting. I handle core marketing activities such as increasing brand awareness, promotional campaigns, developing collateral, and lead generation. Our webinar today is going to cover NetSuite integrations. You'll learn more about why we need NetSuite integrations, the types of data that can be integrated, different integration options available on the market, and an overview of some of our offerings. Now that I've introduced myself, let me give you a quick overview of our company. 79 Consulting is the global face to its sister company, Tvarna. Our name is derived from the atomic number of gold, which is 79, and we would like to consider ourselves as being the gold standard in cloud services. We started out consulting in NetSuite and Salesforce, but have since evolved to provide support, managed services, and integration services for NetSuite and Salesforce clients. We have also designed and built solutions for the NetSuite platform with the intent of extending its functionalities. Our suite apps cover a wide range of industries and address every business need, and you can find them on suiteapp.com under the search term Tvarna. Let's now introduce today's speaker, Shravanti. Shravanti is our project manager. She delivers NetSuite customization and integration projects of varying scale. She also manages the relationship with our AI service providers and works with our apps team to incorporate AI into our apps. Hey, Shravanti.
Hi, Tina. Hello, everyone.
Okay, let's get started. Shravanti, can you tell us what is integration in NetSuite?
Sure, Tina. Integration is the mechanism of moving data from external systems within or outside your organization into NetSuite or vice versa. It can also include any validations, lookups, or data transformations that may be required to successfully move the data.
What is the need for integration, Shravanti?
Yeah, so if your business has multiple standalone systems, you most likely will have large volumes of data to move between them. The data schema and interrelationships vary from system to system. So, moving data manually in these scenarios could be an erratic process and it could lead to inconsistent information that could hurt your business process. A right set of integrations will help streamline your data flows and make accurate data available to you easily and at all times. The entire process is highly secure and reliable and will not interfere with your existing functions.
No, I've heard that NetSuite by itself has everything we need, and it also has the tools for building integrations. So why should I look beyond these, Shravanti?
Yeah, that's right. So for sure, NetSuite comes with a powerful set of modules like ERP, financial management, warehouse management, human resource and customer relationship management, etc., that are required to run a business successfully. NetSuite also has inbuilt tools like CSV imports and APIs that can be used for integrating with other systems, but these are more suited for simple data flows. Configuring these inbuilt integrations to meet complex and changing business needs is a very tedious process, more so when frequent changes are needed. You would also need a technical resource like a scripting expert for API updates to manually make these changes within NetSuite every time you require a change. Also, I would like to add that most organizations still choose to use multiple systems for each of their business units because it gives them the flexibility to pick and choose a system that meets their business requirements closely as compared to a one stop shop like NetSuite. A single enterprise application catering to all of an organization's business needs is very rare.
Okay, thanks, Shravanti. Now, what are the benefits of integrations?
For sure. So integrations come with a multitude of benefits. First one being data integrity. As mentioned earlier, integrations keep data consistent between systems, NetSuite and other external systems in the current context. Possibility of errors is negligible as long as incoming data is accurate and integrations are built correctly. Next one is ease of use. Integrations are easy to build if you have the right expertise, and they offer much more flexibility and features as compared to manual data migrations. And with NetSuite, it can integrate with a huge number of systems, eliminating the inefficiencies associated with information silos and enabling ease of data flows between systems. And integrations do not need any manual intervention and can be set up to execute on a schedule or upon any defined trigger or even manually if required, thus providing reliable data. Reliable data in turn means effective decision making process. Integrations built with iPaaS platforms are highly scalable and easy to maintain as well. So everything I just mentioned about contributes to the fact that integrations bring in a lot of efficiency. Now talking about ROI, the amount of data that can be moved via integrations is also relatively larger, as I briefly mentioned before. In a sense, automating data sync through integrations saves resources both in terms of time and effort. In all, there is ROI in terms of resources, data integrity, consistency, lower long term costs because there are less errors, and improved decision making. Another way to look at it is you will have a wider range of products to choose from, the best HR system, the best CRM system, instead of just having to use whatever NetSuite has to offer. And you can be rest assured that integrations can hold all your data together. This flexibility could bring in significant savings and higher efficiency to your business.
Shanti, do I really need NetSuite integrations in my company?
Most likely, yes. If a business has more than one system of record, you will benefit from linking these systems together for data accuracy, operational efficiency, and effective decision making.
How would I know if I need integrations?
That's right. So, if you're currently exporting or importing data in and out of NetSuite from an external system, you need integrations. There are multiple ways one can integrate. One is using platforms like Boomi, MuleSoft, and Celigo, or custom integrations which are developed using web services, RESTlets, and Suite apps. And the other option is CSV imports, which is a NetSuite built-in feature.
Okay. Shanti, can you tell us a little bit more about the typical use cases that we see with integrations?
Yeah, sure. So the most common use cases in the current world that we're seeing are the first bucket being CRM to NetSuite. So in the CRM space, we could convert your leads that are generated in an external system and move them into NetSuite to complete the leads to customer cycle, a typical cycle for that. And similarly for opportunities to sales as well. Another type of integrations we could do is NetSuite to downstream, where purchase orders from NetSuite could be dropped into your vendor systems for all your inbound inventory flows. Work orders can be sent to factories for build and assembly, and order fulfillment to warehouses is about moving shipment information of orders placed on e-commerce to warehouse systems. And another set that we usually come across is e-commerce to NetSuite, which is the integration of order to cash cycle. This probably qualifies for a webinar on its own, but I'll give you a little bit intro about that. So we have experience automating the entire order to cash flow with zero or negligible manual intervention. Typical integration flows include item sync, customer sync, order sync, fulfillment creation, payment capture, and invoice generation. All of this can be accomplished via defined schedules or event triggers.
Shanti, can you tell us about the different systems that we can integrate NetSuite with?
Yeah, Tina. So NetSuite can integrate with any system that has an API or web service enabled. Of course, it should be the system you're already using. Most common systems are in CRM space, Salesforce and HubSpot. Marketing space would be Salesforce, Marketing Cloud, and Pronto. E-commerce is Shopify, Magento, Commerce 7. Customer service is Salesforce Cloud, Zendesk. On the logistics side, we have Radial and ShipStation that we can integrate with. And on cloud services, AWS, Azure. NetSuite can also integrate with point of sale systems like Square and Upserve, and the list goes on.
Okay, so do these integrations run in real time?
Depending on the use case and business requirement, integrations can be set up to run in real time or can be scheduled to run at a particular time.
Can these be bidirectional?
Yes, in fact, they could be one way, two-way, real time, or batched.
Can we have one-way and two-way sync combined with real-time and batch processing?
Sure, Tina. So we can use a combination of one-way or two-way sync with either real time or batch processing. The flexibility of setting up these combinations is higher when we use integration platforms. I would also prefer batch processing because batch processing runs on schedules and will have better control on the integrations when there is a need to pause or resume.
Okay, so let's say a business has a complicated set of business rules for integrations like timing or security of data moving between systems, or even a lot of interdependencies within that suite. How can 79 Consulting help such customers?
Yeah, so we find ourselves in such situations all the time. The team of certified experts at 79 Consulting look at your entire landscape, review your requirements carefully, and provide you with all the technical support you need to provide the integrations, to put the integrations in action, basically. So, not to mention the post go live support as well.
Okay, Shravanti, can you now tell us a bit more about what options are available for integrations in NetSuite?
Yeah, so as I mentioned earlier, there are multiple ways to integrate. And again, each type has multiple options. First one being integration platforms, which could be done with Boomi, MuleSoft, Celigo, etc. Custom integration options are web services, RESTlets, and Suite apps. And for CSV imports, which is available within NetSuite.
What about custom integration options, web services, RESTlets, and suite apps? Can you tell us how those work?
Sure. So the web services platform for NetSuite is called SuiteTalk. It provides programmatic access to NetSuite data and business processes through an XML-based application programming interface. This can be developed either in Java or C Sharp. This involves some heavy coding and would also need additional deploying environments. RESTlets are server-side scripts that interact with NetSuite data based on RESTful design principles. You can invoke a RESTlet via HTTP request to a system-generated URL. RESTlets run inside of a NetSuite instance and send and receive content in a request response model. They support the entire SuiteScript API and generic SuiteScript features such as debugging. RESTlets can be exposed to the outside world as a REST API. This involves SuiteScript programming within NetSuite. Suite apps, on the other hand, are applications that extend NetSuite for specific industry and business needs. A Suite app is a bundle or collection of bundles that can be developed by NetSuite or by members of Suite Cloud Developer Network (SDN). We can develop our own Suite apps to meet businesses' specialized requirements as well.
I have a question. Are integrations with NetSuite only possible with cloud based systems?
While it is the most common and flexible option, integrations can be built between systems either on premise or on cloud servers as long as they come with an API or any such option to connect with.
Can you tell us more about other systems we typically integrate NetSuite with?
For sure, Tina. So, as you can see, on that slide Here's our integration expertise spans across marketplaces like Amazon, Walmart, Sears, e-commerce storefronts like Magento and Shopify, ERPs, and even other data repositories like Google Sheets, SQL, etc. We're not limited to just the ones on the list here. With the vast experience we have, we can integrate with almost any system from which there is a way to connect to NetSuite, be it through APIs, or RESTlets, or pre-built connectors. Needless to say, we can do these on any iPaaS platform of your choice or even through custom scripting.
Let's delve a bit deeper into the different integration options, Shravanti.
Sure. There are different types of integrations, as we talked about earlier. Point to point integrations are CSV imports and exports. Custom build ones are custom scripting, that is done within NetSuite. SaaS and iPaaS are middleware based integration platforms. A few important factors to consider while choosing an integration type that best suits your needs are implementation effort, flexibility to perform data transformations, error handling, cost, maintenance, data or input file restrictions, and version control. We actually have a blog post that draws comparison between these three integration types on more such factors. So, as you can see on the screen here, that's the blog post. Our team will provide you with the link to this blog in a follow up email shortly after this session. But here is a quick view for you. So, as you can see, integration platforms offer drag and drop functionality, thus making it easier to create integrations, whereas the custom integration will require extensive scripting expertise. The technical expertise required for creating CSV imports falls somewhere in between the two. Data transformation is vital to any ETL process, especially when dealing with systems that require changes in format in order to move data back and forth. Data transformation is easier to perform and manage when utilizing integration platforms, as well as in the case of custom integrations based on scripting skills of the developer or the consultant you have on board. CSV imports do not offer any kind of data transformation. Coming to error handling, it can be built in iPaaS and custom integrations, but custom error handling is not an option with CSV imports. NetSuite scheduled releases, they are seamless for CSV imports, may require some level of effort for iPaaS and a higher level of effort comparatively for custom integrations. The effort is in terms of testing the new release and making any necessary changes. And input file size restriction for CSV imports, it cannot exceed 25,000 lines or 50 MB of data in size. Custom integrations have no such limit on the total size of data, but the individual rows or records cannot be more than 10 megabytes. Integration platforms have no such restrictions. Coming to version control, which is another very important factor. CSVs do not offer any versioning. With custom scripting, it can be done manually. Integration platforms handle it out of the box. Let me take a pause here so the audience can take a closer look. And to the audience, as I just mentioned, the link will be sent shortly after this session.
Okay, great, Shravanti. And before we move forward, again, a reminder to our attendees that we have someone on our team available to answer any questions. So do post your questions in the chat box. And Shravanti, iPaaS platform integrations seem to be a popular choice in the industry. Can you throw some light on these, please?
Yeah, so and that's correct. There are several reasons why iPaaS platforms are a favorite choice these days. Some of them, as you can see in the slide, are varied range of connectors. The integration platforms have built-in connectors, making it easier to create and manage complex integrations relatively easily. But for this to happen, business requirements need to be defined clearly, making sure that the solution is feasible on these platforms. With the inbuilt tools that iPaaS provides, the mapping and data transformation has become a lot less tedious, enabling us to spin up these integrations pretty quickly. It basically reduces the development time. Platforms also have pre-built EDI document schemas, making it easier to integrate with EDI. Even though it may sound easier, it will lead to wrong records and duplicates if you don't do it the right way. And there are other advantages like data transformation, as we talked about before. Data quality is much better. There are no errors, hence reduced rework, and these are all scalable solutions. What we also tell our customers is do not decide on the platform or tool first. Consider the overall cost involved for an integration requirement because sometimes it might be cost effective to build the integration within NetSuite rather than using a platform. And as I mentioned, our expertise lies in Boomi, MuleSoft, Celigo, etc.
What are the differences between the iPaaS integration platforms?
Yeah, so let's do a comparison between Boomi, MuleSoft, and Celigo for now. So MuleSoft and Boomi are suited for mid to enterprise level companies. Celigo, on the other hand, is for relatively smaller companies. MuleSoft has API management, ETL, continuous delivery and development, deployment, and you can develop your own custom applications. There's EDI and error logging available in MuleSoft. Boomi does API management, ETL, master data management, and workflow management. And Celigo, again, is more suited for simpler data transformations. Looking at the connectors, MuleSoft has about 120, Dell Boomi offers about 100, and Celigo has the highest, which is about 200 as of now. So if you need more details, please feel free to reach out to us. We have covered these three platforms in our previous webinar, and a link to that will be sent in a follow-up email as well. So, let me walk you through the high-level screens within each of these platforms. So the first one that you're seeing here is MuleSoft. That is how the mapping or the integration is built within MuleSoft. There is different connectors that could be used. And this is a closer look at a transformation process for data movement. As you can see, error handling is a feature that can be used and customized. And the next one, and this one talks about the execution status to kind of get a snapshot of all your integrations and see what's going on with them. If it has started, if they're running, or if they've been successful, and the version and the date. This one here is a dashboard of Boomi that, again, on a high level, talks about the number of atoms we have, any errors, and other KPIs like throughput and document count and execution. This dashboard can be customized. If you look here, that is how the integration, a simple integration would look like within Boomi. There are several flows, and that is how mapping is generally built. This is the execution screen for Boomi, just like we saw one for MuleSoft. And then let's look at Celigo. This is the landing page of Celigo that tells you all the integrations you would have in there, and you can click on each of those to look into the details. And this is the execution screen, again, similar to the other two tools. This is how the integration and the mapping would look like once they're built within Celigo.
Shanti, how do I know if an integration is not working on these platforms?
So, yeah, sure. So, integration platforms come with error handling mechanisms. We can set these up to receive alerts upon integration failure. Integration platforms also provide a dashboard for viewing all the successes and failures. If need be, custom error handling can also be put in place using custom scripting. Let me quickly show you how error handling screens would look like in the platforms that we've been talking about. So this one is for MuleSoft. That is how an error message would look like, and those are the options for error details that you can see within MuleSoft. And this is a typical integration workflow for error handling within Boomi. So we could set it up to notify someone or send an email in case there is any error. And if you have to look at a snapshot of all the errors, you would go to the execution screen and choose errors on the right top there. That will give the list of all the errors. And you can click on those to view more details and debug accordingly. And this is how it looks like in Celigo. The errors are captured in the flows here.
Okay. So, yeah, now that we are on best practices, Shanti, can you walk our audience through any best practices for integrations that they need to know about?
Yes, for sure. So almost all the best practices that apply for any data migration applies to NetSuite integrations as well. As you can see on the screen, yeah, there are some key ones that we have identified. The first one being identify key stakeholders, which is very important for the success of your integrations. And always analyze complete system landscape and define and identify business needs, which again is possible if you identify your stakeholders correctly. Justify the usage of integration. Design the integrations considering the long term needs of your organization. Assess and identify the integration approach that best suits your needs. Analyze risk and impact to upstream and downstream systems. Assess data quality and establish rules on minimum required criteria for incoming data for efficient data movement. Cleanse incoming data if necessary. Implement error handling for sure. Test with smaller data sets and always have a rollback plan and back your data up before running any test integrations. Reuse components whenever necessary and possible, and always factor in scalability.
Now, what if our audience doesn't have a technical team at their business to build or handle integrations? Can we do something to bridge that gap?
Yes, for sure. And that is not a problem at all. We have all the expertise in house to help handle your integration needs, right from defining business problems, solutioning, and implementing to post production support at varying levels. Apart from integrations, we can also help customize or add process improvements to your existing NetSuite instance as well. We also have some great products to complement your business and improve your business efficiency. Please feel free to reach out to us for demos and consultations.
All right. Thanks, everyone, for attending and taking time out of your day. If you need any further information around how integrations will work for your business, please do reach out to us using the contacts on the slide in front of you. Me and my team are happy to help. Stay safe, and I hope to see you at our next session. Thanks, Shravanti.